Hey everybody, welcome to Business in a Box. It's Maria Marquis from Coda, and right now we're chatting about company wikis. So in our first video in this series, we talked about the structure using pages. We then take a look at all of the ways we can add content via formatting, text, and making things a little bit prettier with things like outlines and changing our fonts and adding authors. In this video, we're going to take a look at how we can add a company calendar so we can really be tracking time and events and making that super clear for everybody in our organization. All right, let's take a look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a subpage under Welcome. That seems to make a lot of sense to me. But remember, we can always move things around if we want to change it at any given time. So we could go ahead and choose New Page here or add a subpage just by clicking the little ... and choosing that. We'll name this Company Calendar. There we go. And adding an icon makes a ton of sense here. This one maybe, but I actually like this one a little bit better. So now what we'll do is we could do a slash and type calendar and start by creating a calendar view right away. But I'm going to recommend we actually create a table first and then shift it to be a calendar. So let's take a look. We'll choose table. We can go ahead, select that just like so. We'll call this the calendar. And now we can call the event. We can have the date. We can include, is it a holiday? And then maybe we want to include the quarter. So which quarter is this in? So we'll actually make that a text. Actually, no, now that I think about it, let's actually make that, instead of a text option, let's make that a select list. And we'll choose new. And here we could say Q1, Q2, Q3, or Q4. All right, so now we've got a nice little drop down and we'll call this the quarter. So what we can do is for event, that probably makes sense to leave as text. For date, we'll want to change this column format from text over to a date. So we'll choose date here. We can choose just a regular date. We could also include date and time. Also duration or just the time itself. Just for the sake of this, I'm going to choose date, keeps it nice and easy. Now for the holiday, what we could do here is we could actually change the column type to be a checkbox. Is this a holiday? Yes or no, and now we've got that. So now we can move things around a little bit just by dragging and dropping however we see fit. So now we can start populating. Let's say this is Q1, this is also Q1, we'll include a Q2 event here. Maybe Q1 we'll do a performance review. Q1, Maria's special celebration. Q2, let's have company all hands. And for Q3, let's go ahead, choose Q3, and we'll call this the customer appreciation event. But we'll spell that correctly, of course. So now we've got a couple events here. We can select the dates. Notice it gives me a nice little date picker. So we'll say, all right, this will be there. Special celebration, why not June 5th? Company all hands, let's put that here. And customer appreciation event, we'll put that out in the bins. Now, if we select holiday, we can go choose that right there. So we've got a basic set of events here. Now what we can do is we can decide how we want this to be treated. So maybe we want holidays to show up with a different kind of color. Well, what we can do is choose options right over here, choose conditional format, and add a rule. So here we'll say holiday, and if the holiday is checked, let's go ahead and make the background like a really nice purple. And notice it's helping us check our work right over there on the side. We could also have this apply to every single column in the row, which we're going to go ahead and do that. So now we've got this nice little calendar that's starting up, but we want to see this in a calendar view. So now what we can do is we can go back to our options, and instead of choosing table, we'll just click on calendar right here in the middle, and automatically it shifts it to be in this handy little calendar view. Notice performance review is there. Notice Maria's special event is purple because of the holiday conditional formatting we did. And all of these, you can just hover right over them and see all the details about it, which is super helpful. And folks can always expand this row and be able to add things like comments for questions and all that good stuff. Now, one thing we can do is we can now just click on any of these days and decide to add a new event. So a new event, this is going to be Q1. We'll say this new event is review feedback. And sure, this is a holiday, why not? So we could always do that just by clicking and adding. but something that I find makes it a lot easier for teams who are running the company calendar to keep this up to date is just by adding a button. So what we'll do is we'll just do slash and button, choose new button by pressing enter, and now we can set this up. So this is the event adder. We could say the button is add a new event, and then we select what should this button do. In this case, we want to add a row to our handy little calendar. And then we could choose to preset any values we wanted to, or we can just toggle on it so that they can edit the row right away. And we can choose then whatever color button we want, and also a little icon here. So now, if I press add a new event, it opens up that same menu we were just in before. We can populate it with whatever we're looking for and automatically have that new event to the calendar. So not only is it a way for us to post our company calendar for ourselves, but also so everyone who's part of the organization knows what's happening when. So give that a go, add your calendar. Feel free to add as many columns as you want to better describe your events and really customize it for your team. And I'll see you next time.